Crime is a show where I, Rich Slaton, read a true story about lawbreakers.
With one of his greatest friends and really, just a great beard shaver, John Shefsky.
That's your best talent is beard shaving?
For today, every episode it changes, remember?
That's fine. Let's just play the song.
It's the chalkboard. Let's just
play the song.
Play the song.
Crime is the show that starts now.
Oh, like right now?
Oh, yeah. Do your line.
Okay. Each week, Rich reads a real crime story. I don't know a word that rhymes with story.
And my homie John always has the hot riff. He really loves it when you send...
Don't send anything to me. Don't you dare.
Crimepodcast@gmail.com.
Don't you send anything.
Label it John Shefsky. He loves them. Make sure the lighting's really good. We have a great episode today. We are joined...
By a fly. The Breaking Bad fly is like on the show every time.
But even more important than the fly... one of our good friends, star of the new MADtv.
Yeah.
Amir. We usually do it together.
I was looking at Amir's pretty face. He's captivating.
Fine.
You have to look at him.
I will.
Can you not?
All right, say it together now.
All right, hang on a second.
Amir K! Oh, wow. You guys
I joined in. Yeah, it was fun. I just could see the anticipation of you guys doing it together, and I felt like it would be fun.
Welcome to the show.
Is my mic working?
You're here.
Oh, yeah.
You're all about it.
It's working.
Today's story
It's picking up everything.
Is sourced from littlebrick.com, streetsofstpaul.com, a paper by Keith Marquardt, the FBI.
You just Google weird names associated with crimes, don't you? Keith Marquardt.
And, of course,
I think it's Marquardt.
Table for 5, Marquardt.
the evil robots at Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, those fucking evil robots.
They're pretty evil.
What's the story? Oh, do you jump in right now?
Alvin Karpiss.
What?
Hot
Paging
start.
Mr. Karpiss. Okay.
Hot start. Alvin Karpiss was born on August 10th, 1907 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, but raised mostly in Topeka, Kansas. The son of Lithuanian immigrants, John and Anna Karpowitz, Allen's last name was shortened by one of his elementary school teachers because she claimed it was easier to manage.
You mean not
What
as
a
Jewy?
bitch.
Not as Jewy. Yeah, what a bitch. It's easier to manage, Uden.
He stuck with Karpiss for the rest of his life, even after the car and pissing were invented.
Okay, that was piss is the Karpiss.
Yeah, I thought that was
I
rather.
can smell his name. I'm like,
Wasted Karpiss? Mr. Wasted Karpiss?
Gonna have to get that vehicle detailed.
Alvin's family lived near the train tracks in a bad part of town, and it didn't take long for Alvin to find his way to the wrong side of the law. By the age of 9, he was running errands for local prostitutes. By 10, he stole his first gun and began to hang around gamblers, bootleggers, and pimps.
By 11, Martin Scorsese had offered him a 4-picture deal. Okay.
His primary income came from selling pornography.
At what age?
At 10.
Oh, it's badass! I thought we were going to hate this guy.
In
I love this kid.
Age 10, just your fucking dream. I want to.
Can you imagine being an adult buying it off of him?
Yeah, they go, give me the thing, kid.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
It's 1917, so what pornography is he selling?
Hey, kid, you got a picture of that woman's pubes?
Yeah, give me the boobies.
Let me see her wallop. She looks like a real guzzle gal.
By 14, he had formed his first criminal gang, a group of young boys.
The Rubber Band Boys.
Not far off.
What's that from? I know that. The Rubber Band Boys?
Is that a thing?
Is this a classic thing? You just made that up?
I don't know. They shoot rubber band guns, you know what I mean? Those little things you make with your hands.
Yeah.
They would steal anything they could, including chickens.
And bottle caps. I feel like bottle caps was the
I'll get the chickens, you get the bottle caps!
It's a very Americana type of thievery.
And the milk jugs.
Bubble gum, baseball cards, bicycle spokes. Okay. His family moved to Chicago, where Alvin briefly held his only legitimate job as a shipping clerk in a warehouse.
We got to get this kid in a neighborhood where there's not a lot of crime to distract him from his schoolwork.
So how about Chicago?
It's 1930. Let's go to Chicago.
Where he shines shoes and skin cats. What the fuck?
Kid, we move here for the school district and you're in these gangs, eh?
He soon bored of life as a poor laborer and began to ride the rails all across the South and Midwest.
Became a hobo.
I prefer to call it a traveler. He has a blog.
During this time, he developed a reputation as a skilled criminal and a deadly shot.
At what age?
He's not quite 17 yet.
Okay, so he's 16, which in the old days was like 27.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Totally.
He's 38 in 1917
He's got
years.
scurvy and syphilis. Yeah.
His first arrest came at age 17 when he was caught riding on the roof of a train into Florida.
That's hilarious. Dude, all the shit that he did, and then his first fucking thing was to get caught on the roof of a train.
Train surfing?
That's great.
He was sentenced to 30 days on a chain gang.
Ooh, probably lost a lot of weight, gained a lot of muscle mass. I mean, it's not that bad, right?
In 1926, he was busted robbing a warehouse and sentenced to 10 years at the State Industrial Reformatory in Hutchinson, Kansas.
Where he was sentenced to go to 2 weeks of Barry's boot camp.
Got some abs, bruh.
Yeah.
While some might see this as punishment, Alvin Karpiss disagreed. Quote, I recognized an opportunity when I saw one. I was about to begin my education in big-time crime.
Oh, by going to jail? Mm-hmm. He knew before going to jail, like, this is good.
Yeah, this was his Stanford.
Wow. It's kind of like a Tupac thing, right? He's going to come out with a couple albums.
Through the Wire?
Yeah.
See? It was, I just imagine like a 1920s rapper.
Yeah. Throwing C in there. See?
Yeah.
It was here that Alvin met Larry Duvall, his first professor of crime. Larry's specialty was burglarizing banks, and he taught Alvin how to crack a safe. In 1929, Alvin, Larry, and 2 other inmates escaped by stealing saws from the prison workshop and cutting through a set of bars.
Nice.
This shit sounds like a cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, it's one thing we've learned from this show is that cartoon shit is real because people keep on breaking out of prison with saws.
Better than the saw.
Baked into a cake. They got
That's what happened. There was another episode. I was just going to tell you that. I was like, you want to talk about cartoons?
Like, guys, check the cakes.
It's
you know
real.
what I mean? Hey, check the fucking cakes.
But I think what
you know, like after the 3rd one.
And the prison guards are saying, like the ones
it's your
yelling
birthday
that,
again?
Yeah.
Fuck.
How many birthdays you got? You're only allowed to have 1 cake. But that was the cake that he had the saw in, that one cake.
Great.
No, the cake thing was kind of used like as like people, like you paid the guard off.
Yeah.
So he knew. But it was
he
just
is,
kind of
like-
like, it's like a, like layered, no pun intended, layered like a cake.
That's
but it's just kind of one layer off where people were like, he's getting a cake. So it wasn't as obvious, but it's still such a cartoon way to break out of prison. I would love to do that if I went to prison.
I mean, the whole thing.
That's
you
all
learn
the
how to
show
crack a
is
safe.
realizing that cartoons are real.
How easy were safes to crack back then? You know what I mean? I feel like you just like get in and you go, oh, here, a little paper clip, boom.
Like in the movies or what? Yeah, I don't
You just
know.
tap it
Or
twice.
you
It
go, 3
opens
over
up.
here, 3 this way. AC Slater it.
This is before locks. The safe just had a handle on it. So you turn the handle. They said not to turn the handle. This guy's turning the handle. You're going to get us more time in the prison. Okay, go on.
They traveled across Kansas, stealing what they needed to get by. Larry was soon caught by police.
Chickens, rubber bands.
Yep.
Chickens and rubber bands. Chickens made out of rubber bands.
Rubber chickens.
That's what I know. They say steal what you know. Okay.
Larry was caught by police in Chicago and sent to Kansas State Penitentiary at Lansing. He didn't remain there long as he discovered that volunteering to work in the local coal mines could knock time off his sentence. He was back with Karpiss within months, plotting
He's
their
all
next
those
scheme.
suckers. I'm working in the coal mine.
Yeah.
Going down in these fancy fucking. That's like, dude, stay in the prison. You know what I mean?
I totally wouldn't want to work in a coal mine unless it's like really hot out, and then you're in the coal mine. Like it's nice and cool in there. No one knows
Or you
this.
love canaries.
And then they die, and you're like, we got to get out.
Well, I didn't say what kind of love.
Interesting.
In Lansing, Larry learned that the inmates were allowed to keep their own clothing, but had no way of replacing items that wore out. Larry and Alvin began to steal clothes and smuggle them into prison.
Totally. Businessman, right here.
This, along with more conventional robbery, would keep the boys afloat for a while, but it was the clothing that would prove more important to Mr. Karpiss. A year after his escape from Hutchinson, Alvin was arrested during a getaway from a pool hall robbery. He was sent back to the reformatory, but he immediately requested a transfer to Lansing.
You could do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could just be like, hey, I want to go to that place.
Yeah,
You
pretty
could like move, put in an
that's
application
kinda
in a different
fucking weird.
prison?
How easy is it to do?
You can't do that nowadays.
Well,
can
and
you?
another thing, too, is
Unless
you
you're
realize up until very
Yeah, I want to
recently...
go to the women's prison. Come on.
I've seen those movies.
Amir's the first guy
Do
to
you
come
wanna-
up with that in prison. Like, we're like, wait, we can do that?
No,
Like,
but
oh
I swear
my
to
God.
God, nowadays you could just be like, oh, I'm transitioning. And they'd be like, oh, come on, you can't, you know?
That would, oh my God.
They'd fucking have to let you do it.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, they make you pull up your
Yeah,
dress.
I identify
Let's
as
see
a
that
woman.
thing. Let's. Oh shit! All right, let him or her do it. All right, go on with your story. Sorry.
Correctional officers must have found it insane that anyone would request to leave a reformatory in exchange for a full-on penitentiary.
Oh, I see. It was a reformatory, and he requested to go to the.
He wants it more hardcore.
That's why they were probably cool with it. It
Yeah, they were
wasn't
down.
There's not enough rapes here. You guys are boring. I'd rather be raped than be bored.
How do I stay in shape if I'm not running away
No,
from
but his
big
homie
guys?
was there, right? The Larry guy was
Well,
there.
his
That's what I
homie
wanna know.
had been there, and they got out, and that's when they started stealing the clothes and smuggling them back in.
Oh, so now they were both free.
They were both free, and then Alvin got caught and sent into jail.
And this is for stealing the clothes.
This is for actually a pool
The
hall
pool
robbery.
hall
Oh, the pool hall robbery. That's right.
Yes.
Pool hall robbery. That's the Elton John
Timeline.
song.
Larry goes to jail at Lansing. Discovers people need clothes. Gets out of Lansing because he coal mines. Larry and Alvin steal clothes, smuggle them into prison. Alvin gets caught robbing a pool hall.
Larry starts stand-up, sells merch. Alvin buys it, sells it at the fucking
Top
gym.
10 lifts. Kevin Hart still beat him by 3 times, but it's still $20 million this guy makes a year. Very impressive. He's got puppets.
On his arrival at Lansing,
He's in Vegas. Okay.
Karpiss volunteered for work detail at the coal mine. Alvin was no fool. Not only would work detail shorten a sentence, but it came with another more important perk. The mines contained the friends Larry had made on the inside, various experienced criminals who were very grateful for the clothes Alvin had smuggled in on their behalf.
Mm-hmm. All in his asshole.
So, well, you don't have
Shit
to say
clothes.
that. You don't have to say that on the air. I think it's implied.
I've been trying to research a good asshole smuggling story for the show.
Good. He's like, he has 75 shirts in his ass.
How? That's right. Oh, yeah. Just pulling him out like a clown thing.
Goes, look, there's more.
Just pulling.
For my next trick.
Yeah. Oh, God. Just that. I requested a white shirt. Next time I'll just take a black one.
I read a story today that I didn't have enough information to make an episode out of, but a guy got busted he was in prison and they caught him smoking weed, and so they gave him a fuller search.
Yeah.
And they found in his jail cell like a cell phone, an MP3 player, headphones, and they're like, how'd you get this stuff in here?
Smelled like shit.
If you guys
but then they're like, these were in your ass, right? He's like, no, they weren't. They're like, are you okay? He's like, well, my ass is bleeding.
Okay, like the shapes of those things. Like I have an iPod Nano. You know, it's small,
lots of sharp edges,
but it's very sharp, very sharp. And then the SD card one, I never owned it, but it's got less sharp edges, but it's so square. Like, have you guys put things in your butt before? I mean, like I've had fingers in my butt. Like one finger in my butt is the most I've had.
Well, I mean, like for harmonicas, right? You don't want to go with the Hohner Blues harp, has sharp edges and a wood inlay.
Yeah, okay.
But the Hohner Golden Melody, nice and rounded on the edges.
But how do you
think people would take in their asses harmonicas and bring them in?
I mean, I'm going to assume at least
right?
one time.
How do you get like a cell phone in your butt? That's my question. Like
I think people
practice.
do it. You just throw a condom on it and throw it up your asshole. I mean, right?
Stretches.
I just never had my butthole that
I have
stressed.
an iPhone 7 in my ass right now.
This guy comes to
You
our
have
show.
the iPhone 7?
Yeah, dude, the headphones. I'm wearing them.
We said this is a
Dude, I'd still pay for
it's a crime show. We're going to talk about jail. There's a lot of things that inmates do, and he's like, let me really prepare. Let me come to this
method. I get it. I like that.
But honestly, how do you get a full cell phone in your butt? I was watching like that HBO show with the prisoner.
She would keep putting what wasn't it?
The Night of?
Night of. But she would have it in her pussy though.
That was the girl that had it in her pussy. But the other guy, I think another dude got a cell phone in there. It was in the beginning, like one of the first
little
episodes.
Flip phones. They'd like shove flip phones in there.
A flip phone. Oh yeah, of course it's a little smaller than an iPhone, right? Or a Samsung Galaxy Note. The guy's like, I want a Note. He's like,
what? Hey,
man, you get a flip phone and that's it.
7.5 inches, motherfucker.
How you get that in your butt, dude? And then walk with it. I would think like it would get pushed up there, and then you'd be like, I don't feel so good, and you'd have
That's a new kind of butt dial. All right.
Oh.
One of those grateful...
Moving on!
One of those grateful inmates was Fred Barker, a seasoned criminal who was serving time for the burglary of a bank. Fred was the baby in a family of lawbreakers.
This is a new guy?
This is a new guy,
Yeah,
Fred
yeah.
Barker, who he's one of the guys who got the clothes inside.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
He's a
One of the
seasoned-
buddies in the coal mine.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Fred was the baby in a family of lawbreakers. His
Anytime during
oldest
the
brother-
episode that he starts getting confusing like that, it's our job to be like, who's this guy you're fucking talking about? I'm lost. Like, just let him know. It's part of
Got
the
it.
show.
This is a new dude, though.
It's great. New dude.
It's part of the show! Okay.
I didn't see that one coming at all.
I thought you would.
I mean, he fucking
But
pointed
that was
at
the
you.
word?
Huh?
We'd never done that word before.
Yeah, but you watch like a deaf person would watch the lips and read my lips.
Do I look deaf to you?
I said the sentence first. I said it's part of the show, and then I said it's part of the show.
Oh, I see what you're saying now.
Okay, yeah, Amir was on it. That's why
Like,
Amir.
let's go
Yeah.
home. Where were you on that one?
Let's quit this show. I'm just joking. Okay,
Fred's
let's move on with
oldest
this.
brother, Herman, killed a police officer during a robbery and then turned the gun on himself to avoid capture.
So sue him, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Lloyd, the second oldest, was in federal custody at Leavenworth, and Arthur, the third child, was in the Oklahoma State Prison. His mother, known as Ma Barker, was a constant presence in her boys' lives. Whether they were on a job or in prison, she was always nearby, usually lobbying local law enforcement for their release. Fred immediately took a liking to Alvin.
so this is like the mom that, like, even though her kids are awful people, is like.
I always remember like DuckTales, and there was always that.
Ooh. You
Right.
can't not do that after someone says duck.
Yeah.
They'd always go to jail, and then like, wouldn't they go to jail a lot? There's always baked cakes with fucking shits in it.
Callback, right?
I don't
There's
know,
always
man.
those goddamn baked cake escapes.
Baked cake to escape. DuckTales was like living off that
Ooh, boo, boodly-doo-doo. Okay.
Fred immediately took a liking to Alvin and took the young outlaw under his wing. When Alvin gave Alvin the nickname Old Creepy.
shit. Old creepy Karpiss.
Old Creepy Karpiss, yes. That's
Which one's older?
Fred is older, but he called the younger guy old creepy.
So the new Family Guy is Fred.
Yes.
But
Fred Barker of the Barker family with all the brothers who've been in jail and dead.
Yeah, like the Fratellis in Goonies. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then now Alvin Karpiss is still the same guy.
That guy.
But he's now Old Man Karpiss.
Well, they called him Old Creepy. Just
Old Creepy.
You know, it was the
They call him
1920s.
Piss
They
for
would
short.
add old to things just because it was,
guy's
hey, Old Creepy over
Getting
there.
the short end of the stick of the fucking nicknames.
Oh man, this.
While
Little
inside,
Dick Old Man Karpiss Piss.
While inside, Fred educated Alvin on the finer points of criminal enterprise.
Poop. Oh my god! I just wanted to interrupt you with a really childish.
That was a good one, though.
A really remedial riff. That's the name of this new podcast I'm doing. Remedial riffs. Yeah. Car poopy duties. Up next week, we're okay. Go on. Go on with your Karpiss story.
When they were released in 1931, the Barker Karpiss gang was ready to hit the ground running. You know what? That's still better than the Buttmarsh Boys.
Yeah, that was.
Is that a real thing?
Yep.
That's the real thing from one of our
episode
last. Yeah. From our episode with Jeremiah Watkins.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Comedy Store's
Newest paid
regular.
Amazing.
Also, Jessica Michelle Singleton.
This is our congratulations episode.
Congratulations to both of you guys.
Old Creepy's first bank robbery took place in a small rural town in Missouri. They grabbed $7,000 and made their getaway while spreading 2-inch roofing tacks on the road to prevent the police from following.
This is a fucking Home Alone episode.
Totally. I didn't even know that would really work to do the tacks.
Throw the tacks. Back in the day with the
2-inch
tires,
roofing tacks are about that big. Yeah, I guess that could pop your
That would
tires.
pop a
but
tire.
You'd be able to drive enough to keep up with a motherfucker.
Might fuck up a foot, too.
Oh, yeah. Cops
Or a
running
horse.
On oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
How
yeah.
fucked up whenever you see a movie where like they fuck with the horses that the guys are riding on. You're like, dude.
It's like
Then a Civil-
My
a
first
Civil
thought
War
is
movie like
always
this?
fuck up the horse. That's my first thought when I'm watching Game of Thrones and a bunch of horses come at you. I'm like, fucking
Yeah,
get the
I know.
horse.
I'm saying for survival. I'm saying from like an empathetic, like outside view.
And they
you know,
fucking
like maybe.
dump the horse, cut its neck. You're like, what is going on
Oh
here?
yeah, they do some. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, Game of Thrones especially, right?
that shows. It's
The
very
robbery was a
scary.
wild success and the first of many over the next 2 years. As their successes grew, so did the size of the gang. Many other criminals rotated through the roster, including Alvin's old friend Larry Duvall and Fred's brother Archer Doc Baker.
It's like comedy. You call up your homie. I'm working on the show.
Dude,
like,
hey, you want to
like-
open bank robbery?
They're looking for another guy, and like I threw your name in there, but the crime's the
You'll
same
be
way.
the Rob Schneider of my gang.
Yeah.
You'll always have a place.
So these guys got away with this stuff. The tax worked the way
Yeah.
they got out. So it's like they're like we're onto something here. And this
Well,
is-
I just point out how early we are, how many more pages we have
Okay,
left.
keep
we
going.
are
Wow.
definitely,
Oh, let's get
there's a
crazy.
lot of story.
it's gonna get good.
It's going to get good.
It's gonna get good. It's already good.
The Barker Karpiss gang went on a spree of robbing banks and killing anyone who got in their way. They had to leave Arkansas after killing a local police chief named Manly Jackson.
Not so manly anymore, are you? There, you're more deadly. I mean, no, like you're dead. Never mind.
Soon after,
rest in peace.
Kansas became too hot after they shot and killed Sheriff C. Roy Kelly during a job.
These people.
Did you see Roy Kelly?
Yeah.
What? Did you see Roy Kelly?
No idea what you're talking about.
Who's on first?
See Roy.
No idea.
See Roy Kelly. Did you see him?
I heard him.
He's dead.
He's dead. sorry to break it to you, boy.
A heist in Concordia, Missouri went particularly awry. It started with their normal routine. Enter the bank. Announce their intentions.
Everybody get on the ground!
Show their guns.
These are my guns!
And herd everyone into a back room.
Get into that back room! Who's the manager here with the key?
Come on, guys. We're not messing around.
They grabbed the cash from the teller stations and took
Give me the fucking money.
You just been robbed by Karpiss, yeah, see?
and took the head cashier over to the vault.
Right, come with me. Okay, I'm very scared. Just open this thing up.
Just don't shoot.
Before he could open it, a waitress from the diner across the street came in to get some change.
Hey, you guys look at me. Oh, you here for change too?
Yeah, I'm a waitress too. Hey, I'm at a diner across the street. I never seen yous before.
Well, I'm Mary, the new fucking waitress.
I'm Diana Karpiss. Related.
Wait a minute.
I know. It sounds weird. Wait, is this bank being robbed by a guy named... Okay, go on with the story.
She was informed of the situation and sent to the back. Somehow the cashier found some cojones and refused to open the safe.
What kind of moron works for... Okay, I don't want to sound anti-corporate because we want a sponsor.
Just give it the money, though.
But, like, wouldn't you just,
don't be a hero right then. You know what I mean? Fucking...
Like, no one at the actual company at the bank's going to be like, oh, man, now we can't pay our bills. Like,
But
just
you can't
give
be
them
called
the money.
Yella. That's the worst.
That's the most... But
That's worse than death.
Yellow-bellied.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be called Yella than dead for being like, no, you can't have
Plus,
this
it's
money.
not your money, so who gives a shit, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Take it.
Take the money.
The guy's like, we're not robbing the bank. I'm like, just fucking take it.
Yeah, they're not even right.
Yeah, they're like,
That was Amir's first day as a bank teller.
Yeah, I got fired. He gave everyone the money.
I came in to cash my check. He's like, just take the whole thing back.
I don't want any trouble. I already pushed the button 7 times. That's just another customer.
This is literally your first transaction. Like your manager standing next to you, like, okay, Amir, are you ready for your first experience at the bank? I walk up like, hi, are you the new teller here?
Yeah. Panic. Push the
Panic button.
The argument took so long that the owner of the diner thought his waitress was goofing off on the clock, so he sent another waitress to go get her.
Hey, we were right with the 2 waitresses.
Yeah. Now there's 3 of us in here.
Hey, what's going on in here, Samantha? Whoa.
She, too, was sent to the back room.
Jesus Christ.
Now Barker was pissed, so he began to threaten the cashier, who still refused to open the safe. By this point, the owner of the diner was so furious with his lazy waitresses
He went over there himself.
that he marched over to the bank himself.
This is great.
These fucking bitches think they can walk over me. Every woman in this world has treated me like garbage. And then he got out of the...
Can I get some water? And then there's like just the fucking 10 tables that are not being served at the moment.
Yeah. You'll wait your fucking turn. I'm coming back in a minute. And he walks... Because there's only one diner, right?
I don't know. In fact, it was an Olive Garden.
It was an Olive Garden. When
The original one.
When you're here, you're family, so we yell at each other and treat you like shit.
He was met at the door by Karpiss and a machine gun.
We called him Karpiss DM.
Alvin assured him the girls were safe, but informed him that he now had to join them in the back.
They're safe, but they're rounding us up.
And if you're keeping track, there's 75 people in the back now.
Yeah, that's how bank robberies work. You've seen Dog Day Afternoon.
And the one guy's still not giving it up. He's like, motherfucker, no code for you to get into the vault.
Growing tired of Barker's failed threats, Alvin grabbed the prettiest girl in the room.
The Prius.
Fucked the shit out of her. And was like, you know what? I'm in a good mood now. You guys get the hell out of here.
Hey, what about my change?
The end, guys. That was a good story. Great episode.
That was it?
No, he just fucked her once, and he was like, I don't need to do crime anymore. This is...
It's good.
They actually got married, so it wasn't just like it was, he made an honest woman out of it.
And that's where the term fucked her Karpiss came from.
That's right. I fucked the Karpiss out of her.
Karpiss.
He told the cashier he would kill the girl if the safe didn't open.
See?
Somehow, the cashier had the read on Alvin and decided to call his bluff.
Oh,
what
my
a fucking...
God. I would shoot the cashier just to be like, all right, somebody else want to play the role here?
Would you ever play poker with this guy after this happens?
Dude.
The guy who's like, yeah, I knew he wouldn't kill her. Also, you have aces.
I can't. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be friends with him. I'd be like, I don't care if you knew he wouldn't kill her. No amount of money.
Called the bluff.
I mean, the chick was hot too, right, guys? Can we all agree? No,
Finally, after 45 minutes, Alvin called it a day, and the gang left empty-handed.
No,
dude, and that's it.
That's it on that robbery. Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
he didn't kill the guy that called.
Nope.
So they shot these sheriffs and all these other guys.
Yeah, and then they didn't fucking kill the guy that went
What
over the
I'm
safe.
gathering is that those killings weren't like, kill you. They were like, you're in my way.
They're probably like back against the wall type shit.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I'm gathering.
Yeah.
And just so the listeners know, we don't condone killing even if your back's against the wall.
Right.
Okay?
What kind of wall?
Right. Don't be. This is a serious note.
Like if there's a brick wall behind me, I'm killing all night. You know what I'm saying? 45 minutes till the check drop.
Okay.
Come on.
As a comedian, I applaud your wordplay, your choices of being confident about what you do on stage.
Just saying what I do.
You did a good job there. But I'm trying to let the people. What if some kids listen to the show and they're like, "It's okay to just start shooting"?
They're
people?
probably already down a wrong path.
Oh, yeah, that's probably true. But just so you know, we don't condone that, and our sponsors, Coca-Cola and the Comedy Store, also don't condone that.
With Kansas, Missouri, and Oklahoma all getting too hot, the crew, along with Ma Barker and her boyfriend Arthur Dunlop, made their way north, eventually settling in St. Paul, Minnesota. The city had a reputation for tolerating criminals due to something called the O'Connor system.
What?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Former police chief John O'Connor had protected criminals from arrest and extradition as long as they kept their criminal ways outside of the city.
What?
Well, that's dope. They go do your robberies outside.
Yeah, he gave him like a play area.
It's kind of a good idea.
Listen, I know you guys are criminal. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Just go rob the bank in fucking
the middle of nowhere.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. There you go.
Middle of nowhereville. Interesting.
The current chief, Tom Brown, had made his bones as a member of the Purity Squad, a special task force designed to take down gambling, brothels, and speakeasies.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for helping out. Great.
Brown had instead used it to make connections with local organized crime and collect heavy bribes.
Oh, okay. So he had a plan.
Got the speakeasies going, huh?
Yeah.
This is why prohibition's bad, right? This is all that happens.
The Barker Karpiss gang was introduced to Brown and soon had his protection. He would delay police response to information, on the gang and tipped them off when the police were finally forced to move.
What's his first name?
Tom.
Okay, I was just making sure it wasn't Leroy Brown. There's a really good folk song about Leroy Brown.
Yeah, Big Bad Leroy Brown.
Yeah, the Jim Croce song.
Yeah.
Leroy Brown. Okay, this isn't him, though.
The Barker Karpiss gang pulled off a few more robberies in the surrounding areas, but the body count and wanted posters had taken their toll. The risks were becoming too great and the rewards too unreliable. Then, the whole system suddenly flipped. A neighbor of the Barkers, who were living under a fake name, recognized them from a copy of True Detective magazine and called in a tip.
First of all, there's a magazine called True Detective.
Second, what kind of douche gets True Detective magazine?
That's great.
And what year is this?
1932, 3-ish.
Wow.
Right before the Second World War. This is going down.
This is happening. Yeah. We forget that things happened before the Second World War.
Right.
Things happened before the Second World War?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe you.
This is insane.
This is crazy.
As usual.
Go on with your little baby story, baby.
As usual. Tom Brown delayed the response and warned the gang.
What a good guy.
Alvin and Fred wrongly believed that Ma Barker's boyfriend Arthur had sold them out, as he had a reputation for being a loose-tongued drunk. They shot him and dumped his naked body.
Wait, who got shot?
Their mom's boyfriend.
Fuck that
Ma
guy.
Barker's
Fuck
boyfriend,
that guy.
Arthur Dunlop.
So did Ma's son was he down with shooting the boyfriend?
Yeah,
too?
very
okay,
much so.
Okay, yeah.
You fuck my mom and you're a drunk talker?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
dude.
can fuck your mom, fuck my mom, but you can't fuck me and my Karpiss boys.
Yeah, you fucking loose tongue drunk.
Loose tongue drunk.
That was good. I like that.
You fucking loose tongue drunk. But he was drunk when he was saying it, so his time there.
It's like that Elton John song, Loose Tongue
Yeah.
Drunk.
Loose tongue drunk.
The murder was a big story
That's how he gets back. I love it when he does
and
that.
led to accusations of corruption against Brown. He was dismissed as chief by a newly elected mayor who ran on an anti-corruption ticket.
And he lived happily ever after, didn't he?
But
They always do.
Brown was not fired. Since Prohibition had ended in 1933, organized crime had lost their major source of income, and gangs were turning to new forms of criminal enterprise. One of the most popular was kidnapping.
Oh, Lord.
Tom Brown was placed on the newly formed Kidnap Squad.
That's dope.
This, of course, was perfect, because the Barker Karpiss gang had just moved from bank robbing
There goes, that's dope.
to kidnapping.
That's great. Yeah, the Kidnap Squad.
Yeah.
The Kidnap Squad?
Man. And we're not just doing chickens anymore, see?
We're moving over from the Loiter Squad.
Yeah, we're getting coyotes and people.
Synergy. It was a warm afternoon.
Is this what you wanted, boss? Like, no, put the coyote down. We're trying to kidnap people. All right, sorry, go on. I'm just thinking of dumb
I
criminals.
kidnapped these two homeless people. Nobody wants them. There's no money in that.
Guys, for the last time, we're here to stop kidnapping. I don't understand how this concept is so difficult for you.
Kidnapping Squad. I didn't know, boss. I thought we were supposed to kidnap.
the kidnapping squad.
Yeah,
That's like the police prevention squad, right?
Yeah.
They're like trying to prevent kidnapping.
Okay, yeah.
You kidnapped a whole city block.
You said we were the Kidnap Squad.
The boss, you said they're kidnapped.
You stop them. It's so simple. It's a simple idea. Stop kidnappings. Don't do kidnappings.
What are we supposed to do
So
with
the-
all these coyotes?
So, I don't know, make a jacket out of them or something. Hey, my question over here is, so these guys, we're on the cops right now, and the cops started
The cops started the Kidnap Squad to stop kidnappings
crooked
because
cop.
that was the new.
the crooked cop.
No, he was put on the Kidnap Squad after he was taken off of the Purity Squad.
Yeah, which is just a really funny name for it. They
Yeah.
invented the purity ring and all that stuff. What is it, the
Yeah.
promise rings? After he's taken off of that for being corrupt, like, let's put him in charge of even more important stuff than money. Let's put him in charge of people that have been kidnapped live.
Yes.
Yes.
And at the same time, all the organized crime is moving from bootlegging, because now booze is legal,
Yeah.
into other things like kidnapping. Was like This is a very popular time. The Lindbergh baby happened around the same time.
And then Tom Brown's response time. They're like, that baby was kidnapped 7 months ago. He goes, I was just going to tell you. The guy.
And we found him in your apartment.
I got to go.
So this is why we have to keep marijuana legal, because if we legalize marijuana, then
Kidnapping.
people are going to get into, well, kidnapping's passe now. They're like,
Yeah,
that's
right.
what people did in the 1930s.
Well, no, everything comes back around, though.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, I mean, right now everyone's into neon colors and
France gave
everything
us
from the
another
80s.
statue. Yeah, totally. It's things get
We're remaking
big.
every movie from 1986,
All the
essentially.
shows are redos.
Yeah.
MADtv is back on the air.
That's right. That's right.
God, who wants to see all these reboots? It was a warm summer afternoon in 1933, and William Ham Jr. was headed home from lunch, for lunch from his job as president of the Theodore Ham Brewing Company. He had just exited the building when the Barker Karpiss gang shoved him in the back of a car.
Well, finally off. Excited. It's a beautiful hot day out. Maybe I'll go.
Get in the car.
What the hell are you got?
Get in this car.
Yeah. Maybe you put your hand over my mouth. Okay, then I'm in the trunk.
I'm kind of new to this kidnapping thing. We just get in?
Yeah.
If I ask you nicely?
Did you call an Uber? Did you call an Uber? Get in, man.
Yeah, this isn't the kind of lift I was expecting. As he's tied up in the trunk.
Give me 5 stars, see?
Yeah.
My dad's rich. What are you doing?
He was taken to Wisconsin and made to sign 4 different ransom notes demanding $100,000 in small bills for his safe return.
The paperwork
And then
alone.
another one. And then please sign over here too.
He's like,
oh wait, there's one
He's
more.
like tied up, and he's like, listen, you can beat me, but please stop making me. I hate paperwork. It's the bureaucracy that drives me
There's
crazy.
torture with carpal
would
tunnel.
you please initial here too? You missed one here.
Yeah,
You
Jesus
just-
Christ. Yeah, just pissing them off.
$100,000 in small bills where you make your son sign 100 more pieces of paper.
yeah.
No, Dad, please give him the money.
That's a threat. And then we're gonna take wedding pictures with him. Like it just gets like worse and worse. Like all this stuff. Yeah.
And then we make you go to 2 graduations.
Yeah. And then we're gonna have him enter a sweet potato French fry eating contest. All right, go on.
He has to miss football for a farmer's market. While Fred went to drop off the notes, Alvin moved William to a new safe house in Illinois, where he took good care of his hostage. He gave him copies of the paper to pass the time and plenty of beer to take the edge off.
Your rack of lamb is ready.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, dude, I love lamb. Thanks for saying
You too, man. Thanks.
Alvin could
Kidnapped.
not find Ham's beer in the area, but he was a gentleman, so he peeled off all the labels so as not to offend his captive.
That's awesome.
What? This guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
Alvin's got an interesting personality.
Well, he is a master criminal, so yeah.
Yeah, but it's funny that like he didn't want to insult him. Like, listen, there's nothing. He's truly a
it's
business.
not. It's not your beer.
He's
but,
truly
you
a
know.
businessman. Like from all of his opportunities and all this stuff. Like you're like, oh, this guy's just a businessman. He's like, I had to kidnap you, but we're chill. You know.
I'm not going to make you feel weird.
Yeah, I mean, if I have to kill you, it's for business, but I don't want to.
Here's some ice for your hand.
Yeah, maybe we can after this we can go out for a drink. After this whole kidnap's over.
Despite the gang's warning not to involve the police, Ham's mother insisted on calling the law. Who showed up? But Tom Brown and the kidnap squad.
Oh shit!
Soon after, a taxi dropped off a note with instructions. A colleague of Ham's was to drive up Highway 61 in a car with no doors at speeds of no more than 20 miles an hour and place a red lantern on the back of the vehicle. A passing car would flash its lights 5 times, signaling the driver should drop the money before continuing to a nearby town, again at speeds of no more than 20 miles an hour. The ransom was paid, and Ham was dropped off unharmed in a rural Minnesota town. So pretty good.
Little happy ending there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Everything seems pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah, the story,
What's about to happen?
the story's probably over then, I'm guessing.
Oh no, this is Rich. He's baiting us.
Oh,
right
I
now.
see.
He's
This
a
was the
master.
perfect crime. Not only did they get a big payday, but the gang pinned it on a rival group in the area. 100
It was
grand,
ISIS.
Classic.
Classic.
100 grand, a patsy, and a man inside the kidnap squad. What could be better? What the Barker Karpiss gang did not account for was the tenacity of one ambitious man, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover.
Oh yeah.
I see where we're going.
Yeah, this is going to be a thing.
The Hoove.
The Hoover.
About to vacuum up your fucking life. Bitch.
Hoover's tenure as head of the FBI is notorious for many reasons, but none more than his war on organized crime. Hoover brought the FBI into a new era of criminal investigation, and the forensics lab was experimenting with using silver nitrate to find the perspiration left behind by fingerprints. For the first time in history, scientists succeeded at finding latent prints left behind on the ransom note, prints that would link the Barker Karpiss gang to the plot.
Woof. And also, they didn't know that the use of silver nitrate gives you early onset liver cancer.
So we learned a lot from this case.
And they're all dead. Thank you, guys. That wraps it up.
Well, it's been 100 years too, so they also know
They are all.
They're all alive.
they died. Oh, they are alive still?
Everyone in the story is alive.
Everyone in the story.
Oh, at this time they are.
Even the guys
Even
who
the
were
guys
shot.
that died.
Yeah. The gang soon embarked on their second abduction, kidnapping a wealthy banker and member of the Schmidt beer brewing family.
Tastes
named-
like Schmidt.
well, also they keep on,
Stealing the brew guys.
yeah, beer dudes. They just
Because
want
that-
beer.
Bearded son.
They probably since he's a businessman, I bet what Karpiss did was he was like, I just want to stick. I want to brand us first of all, and I know exactly how to woo these beer guys.
For sure. And yeah, I bet the Bud Light family was fucking shaking in its boots.
Oh, the Anheuser, the Bushes,
No, just the Bud Lights.
The Bud Lights.
the Bud Lights.
Yeah, the Bushes felt fine.
Yeah, the Bushes felt fine. It was the Bud Light sector of the family.
Bud Lights.
We have so much less protection.
Frankie Bud Light. They kidnapped Frankie.
And the Bud Lights, but they never kidnapped the Heinekens.
Yeah, that's why if you have a beer company, do it overseas.
Yes, you have to be from Holland.
I think that's where Heineken's at. Holland, correct?
Of course,
Amsterdam, right?
Sure.
Edward George Bremer had dropped his daughter off at school and was on his way to work when two men approached him on the street, one of whom was Arthur Doc Barker. Doc punched Bremer in the face repeatedly.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Can we do the punch sound?
Oh, my tooth. Ow.
Keep your face still, sir. I'm trying to punch it more.
One more?
Fuck those bob and weave classes I took.
And pistol whipped him into the back of his own car, where he was blindfolded.
I can't see anything, but that hurt. Was that a gun?
It really hurt.
The abductors couldn't start the car, so they forced Bremer to show them how before driving off. Hey, I know you probably can't see at all, and your face hurts a lot, but this is really embarrassing.
This is a gun barrel I have jammed against your kidney, so if you want to just embarrassing. Show us how to start the car. Okay.
The blood-stained vehicle was later recovered, leading to fears that Bremer had been killed. A ransom note was left behind the house of Bremer's best friend, demanding $200,000, along with detailed instructions on how to drop off the money.
And then 3 more notes were written.
That's right. And 45 contracts.
And then a picture of his hand all crinkled and warped from signing all day.
Please, my index finger. Please rescue me.
The cash should be in 5s and 10s.
And they asked for a new pen, too. They're like, $200,000
and a new pen.
And a box of Bics.
And it just says a new PE because he ran out of ink.
Yeah, it's like, you know when you run out and then like you just try to press it and they're like, get out of there, ink. Yeah.
What's a new pay? I don't understand that.
A new P.
Well, all that Karpiss, you need some more P.
That's right.
No new or consecutive bills.
Do you think they ever said Karpiss diem? Like any time?
For sure, one guy. I guess we really.
That guy got shot first. They said Karpiss diem. They're just like, no, you're out. You're out of this game.
It was actually the sheriff when he was on the loudspeaker. Come on out, boys.
Karpiss diem.
I'm sure you thought you could seize this day to rob the bank. Karpiss diem. Yeah.
Yeah, he deserved that one. All in a cardboard box tied with string. They were told to place an ad in the personals of the Minneapolis Tribune.
Tribune Chakalaka.
They were told to place an ad in the personals of the Minneapolis Tribune saying, "We are ready, Alice." That's the signal.
That's the code?
That's the signal for they have the money. But this time, the gang had made a major strategic error.
Wait, how long does it take to place an ad into a paper?
What about that one swinger couple that was really trying to reach out to Alice?
Yes. Oh, man. They're so excited. They're like, oh, man,
we are ready, Alice.
There's a bloody stack of papers.
I've been waiting for this day my whole life. Bremer's father, Adolf, was a good friend. I know, you just...
I think Adolf is done. Right?
You don't hear that name.
This is pre-World War II.
Pre-World War II when people still randomly had the name Adolf.
Well, also, I think... this guy was...
How many Adolfs do you think there are right now?
Right now?
Right now.
7?
Whittling down.
Do you think there's a few sense of humors out there?
Sure there are. I would change their name. They just called me Addy.
Yeah. Addy.
Or just Ulf.
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 Dolph.
You're so good.
Ooh, Dolph Lundgren. Probably Adolf.
Oh, my God.
Dolph
You're probably right.
Adolf, for sure Dolph Lundgren is Adolf. 100%. Come on, who the fuck names their kid Dolph?
If I ever meet him, I would love to be like, Adolf Lundgren!
Well, you would do that anyway, just going, hey, Dolph Lundgren.
And he's just
he's so smart.
Oh, it's the worst.
Amir, you're very smart.
Thanks, man.
I'm sure you know. You and Obama with your IQs. You know what I'm saying? You guys.
Adolf.
We are dumb.
Was a good friend of current President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Good old FDR. Not only that, but the nation was still reeling from the kidnapping and murder of the Lindbergh baby. FDR discussed the kidnapping of Bremer in one of his famous fireside chats, calling it, quote, an attack on all we hold dear.
They can't just come pick up rich people, all right? We need to protect ourselves.
The kidnapping became the #1 story in America. There was such a thirst for information that newspapers appeared to be making up details about the case.
And we found a napkin left behind by the Lindbergh baby.
It is a little gaga goo goo toy.
And we also found a sock. Yeah, sock.
Sock, see?
Which may have been partially because Tom Brown was feeding everyone false information.
Yeah, so because their inside man was inside with the criminals, he's going to be feeding them stuff to keep them
Yeah, just keep
Keep
them
space,
occupied.
keep distance, keep a little insulation.
You know, here's a little tip for you. I heard that Bremer's actually in Argentina right now.
He's a black fellow. You should keep your eyes out for black fellows. You know, and then that's what they always used to do. That they'd always pin it on the black dude.
The federal government put their full support behind Hoover and the FBI to not only catch the kidnappers, but battle organized crime as a whole. Apart from the major attention, the gang was having some problems of their own. Firstly, Bremer was not as agreeable a prisoner as Ham. Alvin later described him as, quote, a demanding, cranky prisoner who informed the gang not to expect much of a ransom.
I asked for chamomile tea. This is bullshit.
I hate the color of my cell. I'm not eating till you guys paint it.
This is Two Pumps Classic, isn't it? I asked for one.
Right? Oh, that's a Starbucks.
That's
riff.
a little Starbucks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Starbucks.
I like Joe's coffee.
We got a Starbucks guy.
Well, today I realized how much of a I have finally become like an LA Starbucks order person. There's a whole sequence now.
Yeah, he asked me to. He's like, "Can you grab?" I was like, "I'm going to run and grab a snack," which I didn't end up getting. But I went to the Starbucks. I don't like their snacks.
Fair
I'm not
enough.
a Starbucks snack guy. And he's like, "Yeah, can you grab me?" And he tells me the
worst
order.
prisoner ever.
He tells me the order, dude.
Don't kidnap me, and you don't have to get me. Decent Starbucks.
You're like fucking tied up, and they're like, "Can we get you anything?" You're like, "Yeah, can you get me a mocha,
A venti, iced green tea latte,
2
1
pumps,
pump classic."
regular classics with just ask them. Yeah,
Tensions rose as this seemed more and more likely that they wouldn't get a ransom. Bremer's family resisted paying for 22 days before they finally relented.
Damn.
I'd be so pissed if I was Bremer.
You didn't fucking pay?
Yeah.
You didn't fucking pay?
My fucking mom.
We're rich. You
Yeah.
fucking...
You didn't get me a Nintendo for my 5th birthday.
Yeah.
You didn't get me a car when I turned 16.
Yeah.
And now you won't pay my rent. Dad, you don't do anything for me.
What movie is it where the guys? Oh, it's Lebowski, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, Lebowski's one of the movies where the ransom's not done right.
Along with the money, Adolf included a note to the parties holding Edward. I've done my, quote, to the parties holding Edward, I've done my part and kept my word 100%, just as I said I would. This money is not marked and is the full amount asked for. And now, boys, I am counting on your honor. Be sports and do the square thing by turning Edward loose at once. I love the language of that letter. Mm-hmm. He's like, come on, be fellas, guys.
These fellas, man, you fucking
straight up, yeah.
You and that's the father of the person,
Yeah.
right? And he's
It's
like,
not
come
like-
on, man, I didn't mark the bills. I'm giving you the money.
Can you picture this guy and Taken?
Yeah. He's
You know,
like, look,
come on, guys. I'd kind of like my daughter back. That would be a swell,
but
if
it's
you
all
would.
good. It's all good.
Or was it Mel Gibson in that other movie, the ransom movie too? Like,
yeah.
like that.
Give me back my son. Was that the line?
Yeah.
Give me back my son.
There's "Give Me Back My Son's" the famous line from that one, and then
I have a
Taken
special
is
skill.
"I will find you."
I will
right?
find you. I have a special set of skills.
That's what he says. Yeah.
He goes, I have a special set of skills.
He's fucking hilarious when he's so super serious, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That accent.
Oh, have you seen Life's Too Short?
I have not.
It's a hilarious show. It's with
Is he in it?
yeah. It's with Warwick Davis from. Oh, dude.
I can't understand his voice. It's like because he's got to mask the accent.
Where's he from?
A little bit. Isn't he English?
Is he English?
The gang agreed,
What a shitty riff.
and Bremer was dropped off
It's a
on a
question.
deserted road.
The riff ends with a question. Is he English? And scene.
And I have the worst Liam Neeson impression ever. I have a special set of skills.
I'm Oscar Schindler.
Hey.
That's all.
That's his.
I will find you.
I will hide the Jews.
I will hide you.
Yeah, I got some Jews back here, man. Not a big deal. Just put them in. I don't want them to work.
That's
and
your
stuff.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
a
man.
few Jews.
Y'all know what I did, man.
I use their fingers to clean the gun barrels.
Man, this Hitler's kind of a dick. I'm gonna get some Jews out of here.
Yeah.
I know.
Hey, what you want with the Jews? I mean, I'm all about you uplifting Germany and all. What you want with them Jews?
Bremer was dropped off on a deserted road with enough cash to make it home. 6 weeks later, the life of the gang took a drastic turn. The FBI publicly announced that Alvin Karpiss and Fred Barker were the kidnappers. They'd identified the men's fingerprints on a gasoline can and a flashlight discovered near the scene of the original kidnapping. Not only that, their man inside the force had been fired for his presumed role in helping the team evade capture.
Wait.
Tom Brown is
Tom
finally
Brown
finally got
fired, not charged with any crimes, though.
That's
Dude.
great. That's great.
Sounds like modern times, right?
Yeah, they go, oh, you just murdered somebody. Don't worry about it,
It's
though.
cool.
Just take some paid time off.
Yeah,
man.
you're done here, buddy.
Yeah,
collect
you're
your
done
things
here.
and then go home and collect your pension.
Don't forget your recommendation on the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please, give us 5 stars if you don't mind.
Even
Yelp
worse, they discovered that the
Yelp
FBI
reviews.
had recorded the serial numbers on the ransom money, making it nearly impossible to
Hey, he said it was
launder the cash.
unmarked. I thought he said it was unmarked.
It was unmarked, but they recorded all the serial
I
numbers.
see.
Yeah. There's this one guy sitting there going like,
Fuck. He goes,
okay.
fuck, 785895887.
Can you just kidnap me so I can sign things instead?
I was gonna say there's a lot of people in this story that are just like, I am so tired of filling things out.
Well, the title of this story is called "The Invention of Carpal Tunnel Syndrome."
Yeah. Everyone had one wrist that really hurt at the end of this.
With law enforcement closing in, Alvin and Fred did the only thing that made sense. They had their fingerprints surgically removed by an abortion doctor.
That's great.
I couldn't even get through that sentence.
That is
they didn't.
He's like, I normally don't do this surgery. Normally I'm sticking wire hangers up a pussy, but
yeah. You know what? I'm going to pretend like each one of your digits is a little baby, and I'm going to kill that digit.
Alvin later described the operation
What
by
the
Dr.
fuck?
Joseph Moran.
Was that too dark?
No. I'm talking about the surgery. That he's
I thought
taking
Amir was like,
well, wait till you hear about
I just said hanger in a pussy, I think.
That's true. But that only implies, a hanger could be like an old English term for a Johnson, and then a pussy, could be a cat or, a vagina.
Quote.
All right.
It costs Freddie $500 and me $750. The extra $250 was for patching up my face from the going over in Kansas City. Police gave it back in 1930. The fingerprint operation was damn painful. Moran started by looping elastic bands tied around my fingers on the first joints. Then he froze my fingertips with an injection of cocaine in each one.
Fuck yeah.
Finally, he started the scraping. He used a scalpel, sharpening the ends of my fingers like you'd sharpen a pencil. He really took the meat off, and as he finished each finger, he removed the elastic band and bandaged cotton around the scraped tip. Doc Moran's body was discovered a year later.
Wait.
The doctor?
The abortion doctor who aborted their fingertips.
They
they're
killed
like,
them?
and now we have to abort you because you're a liability.
And
That's why you never cut off fingertips, dude. Right? Is that the right lesson from this?
That's what my mom told me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
don't
cut off
ever
people's
fucking get
fingertips,
involved with that.
especially if you're an abortion.
I love that they injected cocaine into the fingertips
Dude,
to
that's how
help
you
them.
numb it.
Well, cocaine's a numbing agent, right? I mean,
a good point.
we've all known people that have put that on their body.
That have
Yeah.
put their
I
fingertips
read a
on
few
their
books.
gums.
Yeah.
But removing his fingerprints was not enough to keep Alvin out of the FBI's crosshairs.
Or the chipmunks. Okay, sorry.
1934 was a big year for the FBI. They killed 3 consecutive public enemy number ones in John Dillinger, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Babyface Nelson. These deaths moved Alvin up the list, and in November 1934, he was declared the new public enemy number 1. This brought the full force of the FBI down on the Barker Karpiss gang. With so much attention on the team, Alvin and Fred decided to part ways. The gang scattered in many different directions, with Alvin heading to New Jersey, while Fred rented a cottage with his mother in rural Florida.
So none of these guys have gotten picked up by the cops, so they're kind of like on the lam without fingerprints, but they're getting around
Without finger babies, they're on the lam.
without their finger babies.
Yeah.
Now, what would happen if they got arrested? They'd say, "Well, you can't check my fingertips; they're all cut off." Or would they be like, "Well, that's peculiar"?
Well,
Yeah,
wait.
they go, hey, fucker, you don't have fingerprints. You're the guy that did every crime.
Just keep your ears out.
7 million years behind bars.
Soon after, Doc Barker and another member of the gang were captured by the FBI in Chicago. While Doc refused to talk, it did not matter. Inside his apartment was a map with a circle around the location of Fred's hideout.
That's awesome.
In January 16, 1935, the FBI surrounded a small house next to Lake Weir in Florida and ordered the occupants to surrender. Fred responded by pointing a Tommy gun out the window and opening fire.
Yeah, see?
Go out like bugs.
The ensuing firefight lasted over 4 hours.
Shit.
It went on so long that locals showed up with picnic baskets to take in the show.
Oh my God!
So great.
I did something similar when I was 8. The house across the street from me was like this huge McMansion built, like overbuilt.
Yeah.
And the family lit it on fire to collect the insurance money.
Really?
Everybody sat there and watched it.
I
burn.
pulled out a cooler and a lawn chair and watched it for hours.
You was there when they set it on fire too?
No.
I was like, whoa.
I was like, hey guys, can I help? No, like I watched this. It was a 3-story. It was a huge house. It was like a mansion, and I just watched the whole thing burn
I watched
down.
the LA riots with a picnic basket and a ham sandwich.
No, you didn't.
Swear to God.
When you were a
I'm
little,
joking.
I was going to say you were too
From the
young.
top of your Korean grocery store?
I remember
With a
being a little
shotgun.
kid and laying
I
down on
remember
the
it
floor
happening.
at my grandma's house and just like laying down watching the news. Like, what the heck? It was.
I remember that. Where were you living?
Well, we were at my grandma's house in Chino Hills, and I was just kind of like in Southern California, and they were like, "Whoa, what's this?"
I remember being in the playground and going, "Is it coming here?" All the kids were like, "I think they're coming here." And then we had like one doomsday prepper dad in the neighborhood. He was like, "They're fucking coming." He's like loading up all his fucking arms and shit.
Yeah.
He's handing guns to all the kids. Now, if you see one, shoot one.
Yeah, dude. It was pretty fucking weird.
We need to all be armed.
Rather than send... eventually, shots stopped coming from the house, so the FBI sent in a man to investigate. Rather than send in an agent, they strapped a bulletproof vest to a local handyman and ordered him
Just here
inside.
to fix the fridge.
I thought you were going to say a local handicap man.
That's fucked.
Anybody want to go in? They're like, hey, that
Limp
handicap
on in
guy
there,
over there
Stumpy.
the handicap guy doesn't really know what's going on. Let's send him in. He's not even scared.
The best is the repair guy just goes in and goes, "Hey, I just came to check the pipes."
Hey, I'm here to install your satellite and your Wi-Fi.
Odd timing, I know. I know there's fucking 48 cop cars outside, but hey, what a good time to upgrade your internet service.
Oh, did the guy volunteer, or did they like ask him to do it? Like, we're even though we're in the line of business that's really risky, everyone's pretty scared. Would you be down to go?
It
Yeah, but
seemed
the odd
like
thing
they
is
kind of
that
made him.
the repair guy gave him a 4-hour window. He's like, I can only go from 6 to fucking.
That's why the firefight lasted so long. They're like, we're just waiting for this guy.
Yeah, he said he's gonna be here at 3.
The bullet stopped 3 hours ago. The cops are just still shooting into the building. They're like, we just got nothing to do until these guys show up. There's just, how many bullets do you have left?
That's fucking great.
There he found Fred and Ma Barker dead with a Tommy gun resting between them. Alvin was furious about the death of his friends, so he sent a letter to Hoover threatening to kill him.
Oh, that sounds like a good thing.
When
to do.
in doubt, that's the thing to do.
Now, I couldn't verify this, so I didn't put it in the story, but he was known in elementary school as being a mediocre student, but the best marble shooter in school history.
That's fucking what a weird like a fact that you dug up.
Very strange fact. Yeah. And then I couldn't verify this, but it seemed like maybe he mentioned that in the letter he sent to Hoover. I couldn't be sure.
That's so great. It's like Alvin's 30 for 30. Best marble shooter on the fucking planet.
I'm going to shoot these marbles in your head, see?
Alvin Karpiss.
Most of the time, people with that much talent have multiple talents. People don't realize that.
In the meantime, Karpiss took up 2 of his old hobbies. Robbery and trains. And marbles and trains.
Oh, we got back into the trains.
Back into trains.
So do you have like a signature? Oh, sorry.
No.
Did you have a signature that he would do like after they robbed a bank, like leave marbles behind or do something weird like that?
I hope so. But I didn't see one.
He'd pee in something.
He just pees on cars?
Yeah. There you go. The old Karpiss gang.
I used to.
I got to live up to the name, guys.
My grandparents, when I was a kid, I remember going to Disneyland with my Bubby and Zeta, and they made me. I had to pee, and they were like, "Okay, you can go." And I just peed like on their tire. It was like a thing I did when I was a little kid. Like they had me just pee by the side of the car, kind of hiding so no one could see, and I would just pee on the tire.
I get that.
And I was an adult.
Good old tire pee guy.
I get that.
I was like a little kid, like who just learned how to potty train, you know. Yeah. And like, but I remember doing it a lot when I was a little kid. I don't know why it just came out right now.
Alvin and a new partner.
Here we are.
Yeah. Hey, I heard you got a new car. Here, can I have a look? And you're like, what are you doing over there? I like to pee on it.
Alvin and his new partner targeted the $200,000 cash payroll carried on the Erie Mail Train number 622 as it passed through Garrettsville, Ohio. They stopped the train, opened up the door to the mail car, and Karpiss threw in an unlit stick of dynamite. He announced the robbery and said, quote, "I'm going to heave another stick in and it will be burning." When the mail clerks didn't respond, he reminded them that another train was on its way and the collision would kill many people, including them. That's when the clerks showed him the empty safe. The payroll had been sent on an earlier train.
Fuck, what a jam up. He goes, all right, back to work, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I guess...
Business as usual.
Just start the train back up.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing. Well, can I get a ride to the next station?
And, hey, man, would you hand me that dynamite over there? Guy.
It's very expensive. While he didn't make off with any cash, federal prosecutors added a new federal crime to Alvin's list: mail tampering. As his list of crimes grew,
I ain't gonna tamper with this mail.
So did the pressure on J. Edgar Hoover to bring him to justice. In early 1936, the Senate Appropriations Committee held a hearing on the spending of the FBI. There, Senator Kenneth McKellar of Tennessee publicly took Hoover to task, forcing him to admit that he had never personally made an arrest for the FBI. Hoover vowed that he would personally bring in Alvin Karpiss.
Personally?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm going to do it.
Personally?
Personally.
That's like his goals, you know?
Yeah. It's his vision
That
board.
was his Osama bin Laden, dude. That was
that was his ladies and gentlemen. We got him.
Yeah. The mission complete.
Hoover's vision board is like a picture of Karpiss and then a picture of six-pack abs, a house that he wants.
An Oscar for some reason.
Totally.
You
find out Hoover was like a big Tony Robbins fan?
Yeah.
Totally.
The hunt for Karpiss
Robbins, see?
The hunt for Karpiss went nationwide as the FBI pulled out all the stops.
Hey, Jay. I don't know how Tony Robbins talks, but he's like, doesn't he have like that overgrown voice thing?
He's got like a gravelly and deep voice. It's like Andre the Giant with like a rasp to it. Yeah.
I can't do it.
I wish I could do it too. Fuck. Okay. Well,
all right. Well, there goes that one.
Not doing that character on the show.
All right. The
thing you gotta do is I can't do it.
Hey, what's up, J. Edgar?
Here's what you just go back to MADtv for next season with all the characers you can't do. You're like, guys, I have a really terrible Tony Robbins. They sent out a law enforcement directive to hold anyone found with mutilated fingertips.
Oh, that's great.
So now they're like, dude, if someone's fingers are fucked up, hold on to them.
The poor guy that works in the meat factory goes, it was an accident.
I'm so sorry about those hot dogs.
They announced rewards for any information leading to his capture. They even hatched an elaborate plan to get his location from the girlfriend of one of his accomplices. The FBI hired a good-looking man to ask her on a date, get her liquored up, and let her talk. But she was too smart. She poured the liquor under the table while her date got so drunk that he told her the plan.
That's fucking awesome.
That's hilarious.
They hired me to fucking come give you the thing. Are we still gonna fuck? Or
yeah, he's like falling for her. He's like I gotta be honest with you.
Hey, you're cute, but she's a stupid. I read how to do that in the book.
Right, you can really put him down. This is fucking cool.
You're not even buzzed, huh?
Yeah,
he can't get hard.
Another thing from movies.
Yeah,
that's great.
Totally.
That's all this. Movies are real. That's what the point of the show is.
This I'm like, this all sounds fake to
Does
me.
life imitate movies? Do movies imitate life? Is it a cycle? Do they eat each other like that Ouroboros? It eats its own tail.
But even loyal friends and movie-level machinations could not keep Alvin Karpiss from the clutches of the federal government. On May 1st, 1936, the FBI finally tracked him down in New Orleans. Hoover himself flew to Louisiana to make the arrest.
Hold on to him. I got to grab myself, right?
28 FBI agents surrounded the apartment building where Alvin was staying with an accomplice, guns drawn, ready for another firefight.
But they sent in a mechanic.
Hey, guys, I'm here to fix the radiator.
It's the same guy.
Yeah.
It's the same guy. He goes,
they gave me a job with the department.
More qualified people to do this. Just put a vest on and shut up and get in there.
What if he would have shot you this is from Dumb and Dumber, in the face? Remember? In Dumb and Dumber?
I don't remember that part.
He's like, I'm wearing a vest. They're like, well, what if he... Okay, it's when there's the scene when he gets shot. Remember the guy pulls out the gun and shoots...
Oh, yeah. That's the very end.
And he's like, what if he would have shot you in the face? And he's just like, oh, okay. It's funnier in the movie.
Karpiss, completely unaware of their presence, walked out of the building and got into his car.
He didn't see 28 fucking FBI agents.
He didn't.
That's crazy. He goes, hey, it's a busy day today.
People clearing out.
They're all wearing FBI
jackets.
That's
cool. He was too busy thinking about marbles.
That's the criminal surrounded way of acting like just walking like you own the place. Like, just walk out like you don't see him.
And he goes... the old whistle.
Have you ever had someone yelling at you like a security guard, like you're not allowed to go into the pool, and you just keep walking with your headphones on?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Lardy-dardy-dar-dar. Yeah. All right.
Or like every time you don't want to turn off. Now they let you, but when they still tried to make you turn off your headphones on airplanes.
Oh, dude, that's just like always like, yeah, sure. And the music's still playing through the thing.
Yeah. You're like, no, they're off. She's like, what did I say? I'm like, I'm not sure, but probably to turn these off. The agents surrounded his vehicle. The game was up. What happened next is a matter of historical debate. The official FBI version states that Hoover himself made the arrest, reaching into the car and grabbing Alvin as he reached for a gun in the back seat.
But people that were there say...
Yeah, but the real situation...
Hoover's plane was delayed.
One of the fun facts is that the type of car it was...
Hoover wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Type of car
Don't worry,
it was
Hoover, we got this. We'll fill out the report.
The type of car it was didn't have a back seat.
Oh, there you
go. So that's one of the fun facts about that. Karpiss tells a different story. Quote, I noticed someone peeping around the corner of a building. Several agents begin shouting, it's okay. Come on, Chief. We got him. You can come out now. Either way, Alvin Karpiss was captured, and Hoover would get the credit. Hoover ordered for Alvin to be shackled, but expecting a deadly gun battle, none of the officers had brought cuffs. An agent removed his necktie, and they tied it around Alvin's wrists.
Cuffs are like, so like, you have that as a part of your fucking thing, right?
And now cops walk around like
oh, I can't do that. It's going to be a deadly battle. Like, forget the cuffs. Like, the smallest fucking shit
the
on
weight
your belt.
would make me. I wouldn't be as mobile if I was going to cuff a guy.
They don't look good with my slacks.
And he's like, hey, you have 8 flashlights.
Well, I think they kind of planned on killing him.
Yeah, now the cops look like Counter-Strike warriors
so
or whatever.
Shit.
Well, not only had a lot of the other Barker Karpiss gang guys been killed in firefights, but they'd also killed the other 3 public enemy number 1s.
Right. So
this is the only guy they were
like, there's no way this is going to end in a fucking shootout.
Yeah.
So I'm not even bringing it, actually, because it shows weakness if I bring the handcuffs.
Yeah,
I have so much faith in my plan.
And Tony Robbins says you got to envision what's going to happen.
That's right. And yep.
We're in.
You cut that part out.
Probably. Leave it in.
The part he says Tony Robbins, and then me going, yep.
He was brought to St. Paul and charged with a litany of crimes, including the Ham and Bremer kidnappings. Possibly to avoid prosecution on some of his more violent offenses, Alvin pled guilty to the Bremer conspiracy, and the court sentenced him to life in prison. In August 1936, he was sent to a new, mysterious super prison in San Francisco Bay.
Alcatraz.
Wow.
Alcatraz!
Full circle, guys.
Yep.
Alvin spent 26 years.
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Be late. Alvin spent 26 years on the Rock, more time than any other prisoner. It's rumored that when baseball games were broadcast into the cell block during the 50s, that Karpiss would bellow with laughter when the Ham's beer jingle played during commercial breaks.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That's
you know what? I kidnapped him
the
once.
guy. I kidnapped his son.
Held him for ransom.
I used to fucking take off the labels and so he wouldn't get upset with me that it wasn't ham beer.
In 1962, he was transferred to McNeil Island Penitentiary in Washington State. There he met and befriended a young man and began to give him guitar lessons. That man's name was Charles Manson.
Oh, this is great. What a fucking rap around. He goes, because you know why women love me? Because hey now. Dude, Manson is great.
He's the best. Dude, what a trip, dude.
Alan Karpiss, huh?
Great songwriter.
From Alvin's autobiography. This kid approaches me to request music lessons. He wants to learn guitar and become a music star. Little Charlie is so lazy and shiftless, I doubt if he'll put in the time required to learn. The youngster's been in institutions all his life. First orphanages, then reformatories, and finally federal prison.
For what?
His mother...
For what people did to me?
Well, this is all before Helter Skelter and all that shit.
That's pretty good, man.
Sure.
This is before all the crazy stuff happened.
That's a good man.
That's
a good man.
Elvis Presley's and the Gizzy Besleys.
Now that's a good Manson.
Yeah, that's a good Manson.
I like Manson. That's a good Manson.
New character,
Charlie Manson. For what?
Topical.
For what?
Is he still topical, Charlie Manson? Like, do people do
I'm up for parole again, but they're not going to let me out. Why would they?
Yeah,
$7 says if he gets let out, he comes here within 6 months.
And does the podcast.
I gotta tell you, your betting games are really interesting. I want to get involved. $7. I can afford
he gets
to.
passed as a paid regular.
Well, he definitely gets stage time just for being a draw.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure.
He's got a lot.
Manson's playing at the store.
He's got a lot of social media followers.
He starts opening for Steve-O. They're like, it's just
this is what people want to see.
His mother, a prostitute, was never on to look for him. I decided it's time someone did something for him, and to my surprise, he learns quickly. He has a pleasant voice and a pleasing personality, although he's unusually meek and mild for a convict. He never has a harsh word to say and is never involved in even an argument. So overall,
why would I argue with you?
You wouldn't argue with Charles Manson.
You don't argue with me.
He's a pleasant guy. And I heard he never actually killed anyone. I know this isn't the initial story that we're on, but
he just manipulated people into killing people?
If I wanted to kill you, there'd be none of you left. He said that in an interview.
Did he say that?
Dope. Oh. If I wanted to kill people, there'd be none of you left.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's a good policy.
And he was talking to this nun, and he goes, if you really care about them starving children, why don't you go peddle a little pussy and feed them starving kids?
That's a good point, too.
It was a great point. He goes, why don't you peddle a little pussy, get some money to feed them starving kids?
What if that's what nunneries just were?
What if Charles Manson becomes a motivational speaker?
He would be.
He's really got good notes there. If you cared so much, you put what? Your own salvation.
Bet number 2, if Charles Manson gets out of prison, first bet is he stops by the Comedy Store within 6 months, sure. probably in Ron Jeremy's car. And then second bet is he gets a Netflix special within 2 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
God. I can see that happening.
It's a real natural born killer situation. All right, back to the story.
Alvin was finally paroled in 1969 and deported to his birthplace of Canada, Although his lack of fingerprints...
This fucker was a Canadian the whole time?
Yeah, he was born in Montreal.
I forgot. Oh, yeah, he's fucking French-Canadian.
Hey, you know?
His lack of fingerprints made it difficult to get a passport.
Hard to say.
He settled in Montreal and wrote his memoirs. The story was a moderate success, and the publishers took him on a book tour. During a stop in Edmonton, his book rep made a stop at a bank. When she asked Alvin if he wanted to come in, he replied, "No, dear. You take care of the vault. I'll drive."
Just a cute,
What a little zinger.
Yeah.
You know?
And they chuckled, but
Yeah.
then he looked down to his side and he had a gun just in there.
Yeah. He goes, "No, serious, bitch. Listen, go in there. You get the vault.
like,
I'm going to drive."
Canada's really boring. Please rob this bank.
I don't have any fingerprints. Get the fucking going.
Alvin Karpiss moved to Spain in 1973, where he reportedly had a number of young, wealthy girlfriends until he passed away in 1979 at the age of 72. Ham's beer is still distributed by Miller Coors.
Nice.
And that's the story of
This
Alvin,
brought to you
old
by
creepy
fucking
Karpiss.
Miller Coors.
Brought to you by... Yeah, please sponsor us, Miller Coors.
So this guy, he lived to be 72.
Lived to be 72.
Wow.
He's one of the few of those Depression-era super gangsters that made it out.
So many of our criminals that we've been talking about have lived these full lives.
Yeah.
Dude, but like given the crimes, he did very I mean, I don't know, I guess.
He did 33 years in
Well, that is
Alcatraz.
pretty serious time, I guess.
That's some
But I'm
legit
just
shit.
saying, like, yeah.
But he killed like multiple sheriffs.
No, at some point, like, the fucker got out, right?
Yeah.
And then he just got to go and live in Montreal.
And then they're saying he got laid in Spain by hot rich chicks. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I prefer just hot.
Apparently
hot
he was
rich
very
is gonna be hard
charming.
to impress. But
yeah, it sounds like it.
I'm sure he's charming. The joke he cracked when he was at the bank.
Yeah,
you
that's
get the
amazing.
vault. I mean, the guy, he
timing.
probably fucked that fucking his assistant or whatever on the book tour.
Probably did. That's what I'm guessing.
Right? Criminals get laid, dude.
On this show in
Fast
particular.
talking.
Yeah,
Slick
Lee
walk.
Lee Murray still in prison training for a fight.
Oh yeah, he's still in prison right now, right?
He's still in Moroccan prison, but he's training for a fight and gets to like do whatever the fuck he wants in Moroccan prison.
Yeah.
And then you have whatchamacallit?
Yeah, he got a girl pregnant in prison.
Yeah, knocked a girl up.
I mean, I can't even get laid outside. I'm not in prison. Actually, I can't get laid, but still, you
Yeah,
understand.
you have a baby. That's proof of at least one.
yeah.
That
you
is
can
through.
get laid.
That is through the Lord's cream pie. That's for sure.
That's the story of Alvin Creepy Karpiss, guys.
Dude, Alvin Creepy Karpiss.
He's pretty great.
That was a great story.
Thank you very
They haven't
much.
made a movie about this guy?
There have been some things. So the story is usually focused on the Barker part of the family because Ma Barker. So a little side note:
Ma Barker with the kids.
Ma Barker was painted when she got killed in the firefight. The FBI painted her as being the mastermind of the family and being like this matriarch crime lord.
Yeah.
But everyone involved in the gang was like, nah, she was kind of dumb. She just
like
loved
the
her
dumb
boys.
mom and loved her boys and did.
But a
whatever
bunch
for
of movies have been made about this about the Barker side of this story, and especially like the Barker boys, Ma Barker thing.
That theme is fascinating to me too. Like the mom that like supports her kids even though they're doing evil, like the Goonies, or if you've ever seen that movie Animal Kingdom, just stuff where like you're like, isn't the mom supposed to be like teaching you right? Like, hey,
But I think when it's your kid, there's some moms that just don't give a shit and would do anything for their kid.
Yeah.
You know, whether
Yeah,
it's right or wrong.
they live in Los Angeles and Orange County.
Yeah, exactly. My mom was not like that, however. I think my mom would, like, if I got in trouble, she'd be like, you got to stay there.
If you got arrested,
yeah,
You got arrested
like you got
or
to teach your
something
kid a
like
lesson. Like,
Yeah.
be like, all right. I mean, I support you. I'm not going to let them put you to death, but you need to.
the one time I got arrested, I called my parents and they laughed. I thought it was really funny.
Oh, my dad was like, fuck off. You can do whatever.
Luckily, anytime I almost got arrested, I got kind of just dropped off at my house because the local cops were
Oh, they knew
really
you?
nice
They
where
go,
I grew
"Ah,
up.
God."
They were so nice to us. There were so many times that I could have been arrested, and they were like, they just drove us places and dropped us off. They didn't even like talk to my parents. They're like, okay,
Yeah, we had a friend that his dad was a judge.
yeah.
This guy, Steve Choate. Judge
Way to blow
himself.
up the spot
If
there,
we were
dry
ever-
snitching.
Yeah, it's good old Steve Choate. What's up, dude?
Hi, Steve. I've never met you, but I'd like
His
to.
dad was a judge, and like if we were ever together and we got busted for something, the cops would be like, "Oh, get out of here."
Cheating
Yeah.
chote, they called him.
It's nice when cops are nice. I mean, there's always so many stories about cops being awful, and I've definitely had a few outside
had
of my
both.
local
I've
area
had
be
both.
mean. But yeah, I've had some cops actually lie and make me pay tickets for stuff. I was like, that wasn't even me, and they're like, well, you're getting the ticket. And you're like, okay. But I've never been like, beaten up or shot at or worse. I don't know what's in the show on that.
Amir, where can people find you? How can our listeners interact with Amir K?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and all that shit. It's at Amir Comedy. And then if you go to my website, I got some tour dates up there for live stand up. I'll be at the Bray. I don't know when this comes out, but I'm doing the Bray Improv this weekend with Adam Ray.
Definitely not this weekend, but if anyone has a time machine, go back and see these guys.
There you go. Well, next week, Bray Improv. I don't know how fucking long these things take to...
We're still establishing a rhythm right now. Okay. Figuring it out, so it might... we don't know what show is going to be.
If you want to contact us, you can email the show at crimepodcast@gmail.com. Send us topics that you want us to discuss or any questions you have. Any dick pics or whatever.
Don't send us dick pics.
Yeah, I mean seriously, send us dick pics to label them for John. You can get us on the social medias at CrimePod. And thanks for listening. Come back soon.
That was fun, guys. Thanks for having me.
Dude, thanks for coming. That was great.
Bye, awesome. Robot.
So much fun. Bye, Robot. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening.